Good afternoon, class. Good afternoon, our dear guests. Okay. Before we start, I request everyone to please rise for the prayer to be led by Mike Shane. Take your seats. So before we start our today's activity, we'll play first pop of mind. So I'll present you a picture, and then after 3 seconds, you'll tell me the first thing or the first word that would pop out in your mind upon seeing the picture. We'll start with this picture. 1, 2, 3, go. What do you think the picture all about? The picture shows
A mosquito carrying dengue.
you can say that this is an mosquito. 1, 2, 3, go.
Dengvaxia is a vaccine that can prevent dengue.
Okay, so as what the news would tell us, no, that Dengvaxia is a vaccine that is used to prevent further or worse implications brought by the dengue disease. So that is Dengvaxia, that is the vaccine. The third picture, what can you see in the picture? You have there a woman. Then, what about the child? Yes. We can say that what do you think is the location? It's in the hospital, diba? You have there oxygen tank. This is the hospital bed, the patient. And then, what do you think? We have here, resolve, Dengvaxia, a shield or a threat.
To our distinguished guest, beloved Joy, Mrs. Joji Honcolada, Mrs. Joy Corbera, and Miss Helen Cabigas. People around the world, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. To start with, let me introduce ourselves. I am Gerald Pinatakan Pasumala,
And I am Angelina Ortifico-Reyes.
and we are your moderators for today's debate. Before anything else, we must know first what is Dengvaxia.
Dengvaxia. A Dengvaxia is a dengue vaccine made by Sanofi Pasteur. Dengvaxia may have negative effects on those who have never had dengue infection. A 6-year clinical study found that although the vaccine was effective for those with prior dengue infection, it was not so for those who had never been infected. OH suspended the vaccination program based in schools due to the concern that it worsened the disease in some cases. DOH Secretary Francisco Duque III said that in the light of this new analysis, the DOH will place the dengue vaccination on hold while review and consultation is ongoing with experts. This dengue vaccine called Dengvaxia of Sanofi is not being issued in the Philippines at the moment. The vaccination program was launched during the President Benigno Aquino's administration just before the 20 elections, which raised questions. In the Philippines, dengue is one of the top 10 killer diseases. Most of the patients are under 9 years old.
The Department of Health has been conducting vaccination in public schools in 3 regions where the incidence of dengue is high.
Since dengue is a public health concern, it's our way of helping. Doctor says the more vaccination, the less chances people will get them. This vaccine is important in places where dengue is highly endemic, like the Philippines. DOH or Department of Health can afford to vaccinate everyone, so we need the help of the private sector. Dengvaxia is a therapeutic remedy to prevent the occurrence of a person's disease called dengue. Spectators have been studying for years and have been able to decide with government representatives to disseminate it to eliminate this type. We can say that Dengvaxia can kill people because in the article of Philstar in the DOH should not be faulted, Lisa said that will involve monitoring until the next 5 years to be sure if there are initial symptoms of severe dengue. And he also added, we're talking about the risk, meaning it's not automatic that if you are administered the vaccine and you are part of the 10% that not experience the dengue, you will be affected with severe dengue. But based on the JMA news, Dengvaxia vaccine is the main reason why those children that has been hospitalized is because of the vaccine that they injected with them. It is because of the effect of the vaccine. That's why they got to hospital. Dengvaxia is safe. It is proven and tested not just in the Philippines but also in the different countries. You said Dengvaxia is safe, but why does children injected with this feels different symptoms after they are injected with Dengvaxia?
Before we will answer your question, may I ask you something? Do you have any proof that Dengvaxia is really the reason of their death? If you have a proof, then we will answer your question.
It said that Crystal Jean Bacteria died because of this vaccine. After the third injection of the vaccine, she feels headache and her parents bring her to the hospital and the doctor checked her and based on the experts that they saw blood clots with Crystal's brain. Her brain has bleeding and it is just because of the vaccine that was injected with her. Thus, there are many ways and proofs that you can tell that Dengvaxia is safe to those who already injected by Dengvaxia.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, speakers. Thank you, guests. So, title for the topic or the issue is it a shield or a threat? So, the positive or the affirmative side had given their clear explanation and their clear intention of what really the Dengvaxia is all about. For one, diba? Threat, negative side, diba? They have presented also the instances wherein there were children, there were incidents wherein children who were vaccinated, children who have not yet dengue before, and then they were vaccinated with the effects or side effects that they have experienced. So for the process questions, so to sum up today's debate, we have here process questions. So we'll start first, number 1. Who would like to read question number 1?
What is the main point of the affirmative side?
Anybody? So what is the main point of the affirmative side?
The main point of the affirmative side is to know everybody that Dengvaxia is not the real reason why those children are dead. The purpose of Dengvaxia is to help us, especially the children who was a victim of dengue.
Okay, so that is for the affirmative side. That Dengvaxia was invented to protect and to prevent further implications of dengue, correct? Okay, so that is your side. So how about the negative side?
We all have proofs, and based on the news, there is a lot of children who are infected of it. So we want to.
So your side would tell us that because of the untimely administration of the vaccine, there were effects that were experienced by the children. So that is the affirmative, that is the negative side. So I have here a picture. So are you familiar with this picture? So you have there peso. So this is the head. So this is the tail. So di ba when you choose a coin, well, you choose whether it's like a head or tail. So let's have the head as the positive or the advantages. Let's have the tail as the negative or the disadvantages. So just like you, the two sides, though you have a affirmative, though you're in the negative side, but still, di ba when you're going to purchase something using this coin, you can never buy with only the head. Sige, I'll buy a candy. Ma'am, can I buy the candy with only the head? Ma'am, bilhin ko ng tail. So, can't be, di ba? Cannot be. So, when you give the coin, you give the head, you give also the tail. So, just like in everything we do, there's...
Yes? In everything we do, there has advantage and disadvantage.
Okay, so correct. So there are advantages and disadvantages in everything we do, in every action that we do, di ba? Just like in the Dengvaxia. With the comparison of the issue on Dengvaxia and this peso. Question number 3. If you are to compare today's issue with this of a coin, do they have something in common, and what is it? Remember a significant event in your life when you face a consequence of your action. So what did you do to... Teenagers are known for their reckless actions, diba? So anybody among you here have experienced something and then you regret at the end? You did something in the past, tapos at the end, you ended up regretting doing that thing. You've lived a perfect life. Perfect na perfect. So for our learnings based on today's debate and today's activity, can anybody give a learning?
And everything we do, we should be a advanced learner, a advanced thinker, and we should know our limitations on what should we do if it will be a successful or a failure. That's it, ma'am.
Okay. Correct. So you have to think first. Advanced thinker, correct. Advanced thinker. So you think of the consequences, the advantages and the disadvantages of the effects of what will happen with your action. So think first before you act. Number 2, you have
Take full responsibility of our actions.
So we have to take full responsibility of our actions. So how are you going to deal with them? Will you react negatively or will you respond positively? So it's up to you. The decision is really up to you. So be prepared for the consequences that you may face later in the future. So those are the learnings from Dengvaxia to relating into our lives. So thank you so much and bless everyone.